Welcome to Top Tips for Raid Shadow Legends players. This is going to be the video that I wish I was able to see when I started Raid Shadow Legends. It's going to teach you everything that you're going to need to know regardless of if you're a new or a veteran player, as well as some things you're going to want to avoid, mistakes I made when I started the game. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're going to know a bunch of new things about the game, be able to save more resources than prior, as well as advance quicker. If that sounds good to you, please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to see more of this channel. I appreciate your time, and let's get going with the information. We're going to start with the most important one, just in case it's the only tip you see this video, and that is save your resources. If you can look here on the Raid Shadow Legends page, you're going to see this boosted summons. When boosted summons is up, you got to click on it, you got to go look at the chance, and if it says 2x, not 10x, that's when you want to pull. Believe it or not, 2x is actually better than 10x, okay? Because it's a 10x chance to pull these characters when you do get a legendary, but the 2x is twice the chance to actually get a legendary. The only time there's an exception to this rule is if you have like a lot of shards and you're really trying to get the 10x character. For instance, like me with Dracomorph would be an example. While the sparring pit is, in my opinion, worth to unlock all the spots, it's not worth it to fully max level all the spots. It's going to take your character to level 40 to 41 and then stop at 41, and you have to click it for it to start the training from 41 to 42. For this reason, you can only really get one level out of it at a time, and it's a little bit annoying, but it is kind of some nice passive experience. So if you're wondering if it's worth it, unlocking it, yes. Fully leveling it, no. Offers in the shop vary based upon your spending habits. If you don't spend much money, it's going to give you more sales, lower price things, try to get you to purchase cheaper items. However, if you spend a good amount of money, it's almost going to entirely give you $100 pack offers. It tries to cater the pack offer amounts to what it is you usually spend. So the more you spend, the more it's going to want you to spend. Purchases are always better done in bulk, meaning the 3-day boost is obviously a better value than the 1-day boost. The 900 shard pack's only worth it to buy on Ancient 2X, and the full energy refill as well as the classic arena refill tend to be some of the best value in the game. I don't recommend purchasing the other packs, as I do believe they're kind of too expensive. The raid card, since we're here talking about value, is worth it as well, which is the monthly subscription pass. However, I don't purchase any of these currently. The arena is incredibly important to do. The reason is, on the far lane here, you can see accuracy, 10, 8, 7, etc. You see I'm slowly working on the Great Hall. At level 10, it gives you plus 80 accuracy. This is almost a max level 6-star banner worth of accuracy, or a full chest plate worth of accuracy. This is effectively another primary piece worth of gear, and accuracy is something that you're normally bottlenecked on or can have difficulty on. It's useful both in the clan boss, the Doom Tower, faction wars, and PvP, basically every aspect of the game, so don't ignore PvP starting from the beginning. It can be quite annoying when you start PvP, as bronze can be difficult, weirdly enough, but that's only because higher level players quit and their accounts decayed and ended up in bronze. What you can do, refresh the page, eventually you'll get a bot page, and you can just fight the page of all bots who are easy and get out of that bracket if you're experiencing this issue. Talk about tournaments and events real quick for you. Tournaments and events typically are not worth going for first place or full completion. And to give you an example, the Fusion currently is not worth going completely for, especially as a free-to-play player. And most of these tournaments or events are going to be that way. If you find yourself somewhat close to the top ranks because you're doing one of those events or tournaments regardless anyway, then maybe it's time to try to pick up the reward. But most of the time, it's not quite worth it. And when it is worth it, for instance, when they have like Santa Claus tournament going on, more times than not, it is in fact a bait, because what will happen is you're going to, look here, I'll show you, you're going to get the players who are going to just grind, and trust me, you don't have a chance to beat them anyway. This guy has 40,000 points, okay? I'm not even going to bother trying to compete against that for Santa Claus. Most of the time you're going to experience this too. However, if you're a newer player, the tournaments can be what called novice tournaments, which means you're playing against other new players, and a lot of the time the new players just flat out quit or whatever, and you can just win those tournaments fairly easy. So don't sleep on the new tournaments when you're a new player. However, the major tournaments and events and stuff like that, just see them as a trickle of additional small amounts of resources, and you just complete the little bits that you would have completed anyway, just to get the gems, silver, energy, whatever it may be, added onto your pile, and you wait, and you hoard it for an event you really do want to do. There is a certain amount of hoarding in this game you need to do in order to be ready for those events. You can see I have 16,000 energy, 6,000 silver. I would be using my energy. Energy isn't something I typically hoard. Silver is, and gems are, and shards are. And same with like chickens, legendary books, all that, right? I like to sit on good stockpile with stuff. I have a good stockpile of stuff. A lot of this is left over from when I was in the content creator program before I left it. You can look here at the skills. I got like 44 legendary books, 148 epics, etc. That is not normal. You're not going to have a ton of books. It's not easy to get books. So if you're struggling to get books, chickens, other resources, this is normal. This is what the game is. The game is supposed to, they design the entire game to make you feel the struggle. The struggle is the game, and you need to embrace the struggle of it being difficult to get what you want. If you don't like the problem of, it's difficult to get the character I like maxed out that I have and I want to max him out, this game is purely not for you, as instead you're going to spend money to circumvent the I don't want to do this part, spend money to get it there, and then you'll be bored at the end. Take it from me, I have done this as well. This is what these games are designed to do. All goshes typically run on this platform. So the best way to counteract the problem of like constantly wanting resources and hoarding and all that is just to realize it's a game, and the game is to try to beat what they're giving you. They're giving you challenges, and you have to do it without giving them what they want, which is the money, and you got to do it just by hoarding, smart play, and not wasting resources, okay? For instance, Chillfly Elite has a pretty good calculator for value, for pack offers, for if you do spend money, and he's kind of the banker of Raid, and he's endorsed this philosophy as well of kind of just slowly grinding out by attrition, winning the game, of not wasting resources, etc. I'm a dopamine guy. If you watch any of my channel, I blow everything as soon as I get it. Don't be like me. It's also kind of worth it to hang on to your materials in the forge. Unless you're right in the beginning, you absolutely need the gear, because as the game comes out, they're going to add more and more and more sets, and as you acquire more and more charms, you can make your crafting chances better and better. For instance, here, I'm like, oh, I like this one, so I want to make this one right. I'm going to do a chance here to open it. What do I get? I got a blue weapon, right? But if we waited, and now, okay, I got charms. I can put charms in, the rarity charms, I can put that in. I want to try to get, let's say I want gauntlets, so now I can have a gauntlet charm, and let's try to get a crit damage substat, or no, not crit damage, we want crit chance substat. That way we get crit damage main stat. And you see what you can get, right? And then, oh, hey, that's actually not bad. Attack percentage, crit rate, or whatever. So you can see that it's probably better in this game overall. This is another hoarding type of tip to sort of save resources as it becomes more and more valuable later in the game. But at a certain point, you got to break through a wall because you just can't beat something, and you're going to have to spend some resources you've acquired. Okay, another interesting point here is accuracy. Even if you have, let's say, infinite accuracy against a person with 0 resistance, you can still be resisted. There is a base chance, I believe it's 15%, but I don't quite remember, to be resisted on hit, okay? Not on effect removal. So let me put it this way, okay? Zavia, in order for her poisons to apply, she has to hit the person and apply it. So if I'm playing against somebody who I hit weak against, okay, or they have that base resist chance. So I hit them, and let's say, I'm strong against them, so I'm not going to hit weak, okay? But they hit that chance the base chance to resist. They're going to resist the poison regardless of if I have infinite accuracy and they have 0, okay? However, let's say that base chance doesn't exist, and I still hit them and I hit weak. I do a weak hit because they're the strong affinity against me, okay? Well, weak hits can't place debuffs. So that can happen also. What can happen is you can combine these two of both weak hitting plus the base resist chance, and even when you have tons of accuracy against bosses where you have to turn meter reduce, like Spider or something, for instance, you can end up getting really frustrated because you're like, why is he resisting? I think I have enough accuracy for this boss. If that happens, that's what's going on, okay? This is, however, in a stark contrast from, let me give you an example of Lysandra here, okay? Of somebody who, on her Energize, places a speed buff on the allies, first fills the turn meter of allies, but then decreases the turn meter of all enemies. But this is not an attack move. This is just something that happens. So if you have enough accuracy, let's say infinite accuracy against 0 again, and you're not actually having to hit the person, and that hit has to then apply, it's 100% Like, it won't be resisted. For instance, you cannot resist the decreased turn meter of all enemies if you have 0 resistance and I have infinite accuracy. It's not going to happen because I can't hit you and have that base chance. But you have to be hit in order to have that base chance to resist, okay? Effects that happen without dealing damage or applying an on-hit type effect will always happen if you have the accuracy check, okay? And they don't have something stopping it, like, block debuffs or whatever. Another random tip is counterattacks are extremely rare in the game. For this reason, Martyr, Valkyrie, as well as Skull Crusher. If you get any of these people, they're an automatic instant max, as they are the only people with a team-wide counterattack that places it on everybody. If you're fairly new to the game and you just need to get the correct primaries, you hear people say, get crit damage gloves, get speed boots. The easiest way to do that right when you start the game and you have like 3-star artifacts or whatever is just go to the campaign. On the campaign, you can see, look, it drops boots only, gloves only, whatever, right? So I can go, okay, I need a speed set pair of boots and just do stage 6 here, right? That's what I'm going to get. I can get boots until I get the speed boots. That's the easiest way to guarantee a primary. You're not going to get legendary drops, okay? But you can guarantee yourself the primary if you don't have it. Also, you can typically catch me live at twitch.tv/Darth Microtransaction. I'm live at 6 p.m. EST every day, though sometimes I go on earlier and later. That's typically my schedule. I go for a couple hours every day. I normally play Raid, but I also play a variety of games. Come by if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them live. If you plan to play for more than a few months, the gem mine will pay for itself in that time, granted that you are always on to collect the gems it produces when it caps out at 15. So, a lot of times in fusions, the legendary isn't worth fusing. However, the epics are. For instance, in this fusion, this character here, Gerhard the Stone, is worth fusing by getting these rares, as is this character, Ragnar Goldgleam. I know, trying to say these names are horrible. Okay, these are worth fusing as well, for instance. So don't always just worry about the legendary. Sometimes there's going to be a really good epic in there as well, and they kind of bait you with just the legendary. The best way in the game to get all the resources, including sacred shards, void shards, ancient shards, and the like, is through the clan boss. Meaning one of the most important things to do is to get into a clan that's hitting the Ultra Nightmare boss, if you can do enough damage to the Ultra Nightmare. There's plenty of comps out there to teach you how to do Ultra Nightmare damage, both free to play, pay to play, depending on any level of player. So I would recommend looking those up, finding a team that's close to what you have, and trying to get one of those teams built, okay? If you can get that, then you're looking at potentially a shard or two every day, but most of the time I get a sacred shard maybe every 4 days, 5 days or something. It's not that common to get them, even if you're doing all your chests, okay? But you do get ancient shards, a void here and there, and some good drops of gear as well every now and then. It's not terrible, yeah. So you really want to make sure you get into a clan, especially if you're free to play, okay? That's pretty much a mandatory. The first thing you must always do whenever you are making a new Raid Shadow Legends account or starting the game for the first time is make a farmer. This is going to be somebody who can farm 12-3 Bruto. Tends to be the best thing to farm. If you go to the campaign, Bruto, you go here, Brimstone Path, 12-3, and you put in the certain character that is your farmer. For instance, for me, it is Queen Eva. I don't farm very often in this day and age, so I have to go all the way here, and then I launch it, okay? Keep in mind, your farmer needs to be somebody who can do all of the waves itself, so that you can put a maximum number of all 3 champions in your party to split the experience properly. You see there, the run is quite fast. Some characters are faster than others. I recommend trying to get somebody in lifesteal gear if you can't one-shot the waves, but there's lots of farmers out there. It's the most common video on YouTube on, what characters can farm, so go look it up. A mistake I made was not doing my faction wars every day. Because of this reason, I both am behind on a few stages and I have to go and mop it back up to finish up Lydia. It's going to take me a really long time. On top of it, I don't really have any glyphs. I don't have lots of speed glyphs. I don't have accuracy glyphs, all those things. So when it comes to trying to max out my characters or speed tune, it can be quite annoying and difficult for me, and I have to move lots of gear around, which takes lots of silver. That's the other thing. If you can help it, try not to move your gear around lots. When you go to remove a piece of gear, look, it takes lots of silver, okay? And that, it chews through so quick. If you're removing one person's full set, it's 900,000 silver to remove all their pieces of gear. Almost 1 million silver to remove a maxed out character's piece of gear, which is absolutely ridiculous in my personal opinion. So don't waste silver, and try to upgrade your artifacts during the artifact enhancement event for maximum efficiency. If you have a character, you just got her and you're trying her out, and it's supposed to be a character that's really good, but you're just not understanding why it's not shining or something, you're just like, I'm doing no damage with this. More times than not, it's because a character becomes good when they're either fully maxed, meaning the skills are maxed out. If you look here, okay, Raglan, look. The cooldown, -1. It goes from a 3-turn full revive with full turn meter to a 2-turn. Now that might not seem like just a 1-turn difference, not a big deal, but that is a game-changing difference in the character. Okay, that means that is 33% more often. This character can continually bring up another person's turn meter to the foe if granting that the other enemy goes first and you have a squishy character. So there's like, this character goes from just being a reviver to somebody that can actually loop another character to have them continually go up over and over and over again to use moves because of this ability grant she has enough speed. And she wouldn't do any damage unless you did have the masteries like Giant Slayer, which allows you to do damage, all right? So if you're also seeing people in videos like, why are they hitting like 77,000 on the clan boss on top of their normal moves? Well, that's probably War Master or Giant Slayer, right? That's the proc that does more damage based upon their max HP, that does scale based upon defense down and weaken. So keep that in mind as well. All right, I've just barely got started and this video is already 16 minutes, so this is gonna end up being like a 45-minute video if I keep going. Let's go ahead and do this in parts. This is gonna be part 1. Subscribe and hit the bell if you would like to be notified of part 2, which will be out soon. Thanks so much for watching and liking this video. I love you all, and I'll see you either in my Discord, which is in the link down below. You can come say hi, or I'll see you on the Twitch live stream tonight. Thank you very much. Have a great day.